Everything's been cleaned and gone through the ultrasonic, so let's take a look at what we've got. Okay, we're going to start out with this Mozambique Tumble. Absolutely gorgeous tubes in there. Again, some beautiful bands. And on the other side, some eyes. Next we'll look at some mookaite. Lovely piece of jasper. Very, very yellow. Golden yellow. Takes such a beautiful polish. I'm sorry, I don't remember which agate this was, what kind, other than waterline. I still have a piece of it in the Rotary Tumbler. It's interesting to me because the lines are not straight. There at the bottom, but when you move it up towards the top, it's very wavy. I don't think I've ever seen that before. It's the same on both sides. I believe this one's a Sumatra. Some bands down in there. You can see my reflection of my fingerprint underneath there. That's funny. A very interesting pattern on the back side. This poor little piece of broken off sodalite just wants to be in the camera. I will let the little piece of sodalite have its day in the sun. Doesn't tumble all that. A lot of it fractured up in the tumbler. I was very disappointed. It went through the rotary fine, and then you put it in the vibe, and it just broke apart. I have several of them that happened to. These little bits, but the little bits I can drill and make into bracelets, so it's not a total loss. It's just one of those things. So much more beefy piece of sodalite. It fared well. Nothing broke off of that, so I guess I need to be a little less aggressive in the rotary before I put it in the vibe if I want them not to fall apart. But this one's cool. It's got looks like little specks of metal. We'll have to look at that under the microscope because this is not cutting it. This one's another Mozambique. It's the only one I actually shaped into a cab shape. before I tossed it in the tumbler. Got some beautiful eyes there on the side. Oh, like a pretty necklace. Here's a couple of pieces. I think this is polka dot, if I remember correctly. But don't quote me on that. And if you know that I'm incorrect, that's fine. You can let me know what you think it is. But just some wedge shapes that I freeforms there. This got very nice moss in it though. Gotta watch that reflection. Here's another, I believe, Sumatra. I don't remember them all so well, and of course I don't write down, other than when I buy them, what they were and what they cost. But once they get used, I kind of forget. But lovely bands in that. Like this part here. You can see deep inside there. Be a good one for the microscope. Here's another. This is just another slice off that same. This is the heel off of that one. Sorry, I got it kind of a little gravelly throat today. Quite a pretty stone. This is some brecciated jasper. I don't know. I don't think it's mookaite. I forget what it is though, but has some lovely patterns in it. Held up very well to the tumbling. It's almost amethyst. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, somebody must be out walking a dog. You can probably hear Buck barking out the front window upstairs. He's got to say hi. It's got dendrites in this one. Just amazing how all those little pieces can stick together and stay together. It almost looks like a monarch butterfly in there, doesn't it? Next we have some tree or moss agate. I have a hard time telling the difference between the two. it's very vuggy. I don't know if that's the right word, but lots of tiny holes in these rocks, so they don't tumble out smooth. But they are quite pretty. It's a hard material. It's just not a smooth material. You can see all the little dings and dips. So a little more work because you got to be cleaning out the grit really well between each batch. So, not my favorite rock to tumble, but it's the first time I tumbled it. May grow on me, may not tumble anymore, may try something else with it. Don't know. But you always got to try at least once. Here's the South Dakota agate. Turned out very, very nicely. And some eyes here on the end. Lovely variation in the oranges and yellows and browns. Very pretty little rock. Not sure what I'm going to do with this one. Of course, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with most of them. They'll just go in the box and labeled for when they were done. And then, you go back and look at them years later and go, oh, I can do this with that. Assuming we are allowed to have years later. This is another new piece of material for me. This is porcelainite, which I can understand exactly why they would call that just by looking at it. It does look very much like a broken piece of pottery. It was definitely a rock because I cut it. Very pretty pattern in there. Sort of purplish. I don't know if that's coming through on or not. It's a very peaceful pattern. I like that one. It's one of those ones you can just kind of like stare at for quite a while. Another one with bands on it. And what look like clouds. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Pretty quartz pocket with a tube. A little bit of everything in this one. I don't know why, but that looks like a chest x-ray to me. You just can't go wrong with agates, with banded agates. Sometimes they just leave you speechless. The black and white. Odd. Okay, it's a little bit of, there's a fracture here. It's kind of healed, so it's a very different kind of layering. Not all agates are full of bands, but this one's still quite pretty. Pleased with how well this batch turned out. beautiful eyes in this one. That's not much on the other side. Another one with good eyes in it, but this one's eyes and bands. Here's just another pretty polished one. Nothing outstanding. A little bit of banding on the end, which is very pretty. Don't get me wrong. Just some of the others just make your breath. The other one's it's a pretty one. This is another one of the agates. This one just has an incredible amount of eyes on this side of it. And then it has bands. Not so much shadow banding on this one. It's one of those agates that's got a little bit of everything in it. Here we go. This is a good one. Quartzy pocket on top. Some very nice banding. Look like clouds on the back. Another one of those stick agates. This one has a lot going on in it. Just look down inside of it forever. Its own little world. And then we'll just look at one more. Just a very white on white.